What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So in this video we're talking about another Dumont fragrance from, I go back and forth between the Barouge line and the Tresador line because they're both so freaking good. It's definitely the highlights of the house. Today we're talking about Tresador Intenso, which another one that just, this entire line has been impressive to me. It's crazy how I started with the Nitro line and literally not everything since has blown it away comparatively, but like the Ramon Blazar line, they have some stuff that's, you know, good, but can't hold a candle to the Barouge line or this Tresador line. Again, I'm going to have to highlight these individual lines in a video because this is where the money is. This is where it's at. This is the ones that I highly encourage you check out if you're interested. But these were sent my way by Perfume Box. I'll have a link down below with a discount code if you're interested in checking anything out from Perfume Box. They are an official distributor for Dumont, but they carry a bunch of other things, niche, other Middle Eastern fragrances, designers, cheapies. They have everything you're looking for at competitive prices. Definitely check them out. Them sending this my way has nothing to do with what I'm going to think about the fragrance. You know me, sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit, and if it falls in between, we talk about why I think it falls in between. But this, I can tell you now, it's a maybe good. So let's get into this review. Stay tuned. Quick look at the bottle because I do love the Tresador bottles. The contour, the shape, the weight, the quality of the glass. This one does have a little bit of a different cap from the others, but you can see all the labeling, names, sticker on the bottom with more information. Just love the contour to this glass. You have that bejeweled Dumont logo here on the top. Rose gold color. Does hold well into place while not clicking, but rose gold atomizer as well. And then, whew, man, it sprayed all over me because of the fan blowing it on me, but I got a nice whiff of it. Now, I'll have the notes on screen. I'm not sure what it's familiar to. It does smell a little familiar, but I can't pinpoint what. But what I will tell you is it's a sweet fruit with greens. Nice woodsy tone. Even from the start, I get a nice hefty woody backbone here. Even in the opening, that comes out more and more prominently as it dries. But the citruses here don't come across as juicy fruit smelling, but there is a thickness and a slight sweetness to it, and I think it's from the other notes kind of supporting it. And then you have green notes like fir balsam, for example, that really stand out and almost give it like this sticky green resin, almost like tree sap meets pine needles kind of thing. Not really coniferous like pine cones, I don't mean to that extent, but a very green resinous, like fir balsam, really stands out here. This is such a great everyday wear. I think from the others in the line, this is probably the most highly versatile of the bunch, that if I was to pick one in the Tresador line to just wear every day for just about anything, like really good at, you know, good at everything, great at nothing, that level of versatility, kind of Swiss Army knife, that would be this one. Intenso. It's very much the I guess the mainstay if you're looking for one fragrance to just wear all the time. It's going to smell good, it's going to perform well, which we'll touch on in a little bit. Quality's good. God, it just smells good. I've been testing this one the last couple of days. I wore it yesterday. It's been an absolute joy to wear. And, you know, this review is obviously reflecting that I feel that way about it. But, I mean, this Tresador line continues to impress me. Let's talk about performance. So, longevity, 8+ hours. It's a regular thing. I've yet to come across an average to weak performer from this brand. This particular line, the quality seems to be stepped up like the Barouge line. And then projection here is, I'm going to call it more moderate than moderate heavy. It's not overwhelmingly strong. It's not bordering a beast. But it's also not just like average. It's like maybe a little better than arm's reach for about an hour and a half. Just, you know, maybe a few feet kind of stuff. It's hard to really judge the exact reach of it, but just know that it comes off the skin pretty strong, but not like so strong where I'm like, oh, this stuff's a beast. Not like that. Not overwhelming to my wife. Very attractive to my wife, though, I gotta say. This is a very enjoyable scent. Again, sweet citrus, green, woody. It works. It just works. Sillage here left behind is on the moderate side. It's relatively consistent with the way it projects. It calms down into a more consistent sillage. I don't get heavy olfactive fatigue. It's kind of hit and miss. Like sometimes through testing, I find it fades from my senses a bit, and then other times it stays very prevalent almost the entire time I'm testing. So it's kind of hit and miss. I guess the olfactive fatigue comes and goes because it's not really the fragrance that's playing a game with me. It's my sense of smell and the receptors, the way they're responding to it. So it's kind of hit and miss. So I don't know if anybody else is going to experience what I am with it, where it's going to be kind of all over the place. But I would call it a moderate sillage overall, where I do, for the most part, get nice whiffs of it. But there's other times where I got to look for it. So again, it's kind of hit and miss and kind of a mixed bag. It's a 50-50 between moderate and moderate mild. So across the board, I wouldn't call it a beast, but I would call it above average, very strong in all three subcategories. Final thoughts on Tresador Intenso. I think the level of versatility here is fantastic. I think it's a very straightforward, not overly complicated, heavily nuanced fragrance that has a few stages to it. It's basically a 3-stage fragrance. You get a lot of sweet citrus at the top. You start getting more and more woods and greens as it dries. Then it becomes a very woody dominant fragrance with a light musk in the deeper dry down. I don't get loads of florals. It does have a little bit of a flowery smell, but you'll notice that there was a bunch of flowers in the heart when I showed you the notes, and I didn't really talk about flowers much because it's not overly floral to me. It's not a very powdery fragrance. I feel like the florals are just kind of supportive thickness ingredients, if you will, that add a texturing to the profile and maybe enhance the citrus a bit to give kind of that richness to the citrus that I was talking about. And there's other notes that give it that slight sweetness. That's my conclusion on what the florals do here as far as their role, because it's not heavy rose or jasmine, or I don't get loads of any of that. So across the board, I think it's very well rounded, very straightforward. For that, I think it is a great fragrance at 8 out of 10. It's not crazy strong and long lasting, but it's above average strong, which is perfect. Perfect. You don't want everything to be overwhelmingly lights out performing. If you do, not everything needs to be a monster. So with this one, it's a couple of clicks back of being a monster. It's definitely well above average. I think it really suits the profile, and hence the cumulative score being an 8 out of 10. Great. Well, that's my thoughts and feelings on Dumont's Tresador Intenso. Thank you again, Perfume Box, for sending this my way. I have been having a blast testing and reviewing the stuff from Dumont because they've got some really good hits here. They got some, some good but not phenomenal stuff, but they got some phenomenal stuff too. I've yet to come across something that was just like, eh. So that's a testament to what they're trying to put out and what they're doing here. And this line is a great representation of what their best foot forward can be. So with that said, make sure to like, comment, subscribe before you leave. I'll catch you on the next one.